Tonight's location is also a harvest host, but it's an interesting one. It's a campground.
Campground / truck stop. Yeah.
So basically we're going to the truck stop.
Yeah.
I hope it's a nice truck stop. Yes, the only thing I would wish for is that it's not going to be 31 degrees when we wake up tomorrow morning.
Oh my gosh, it's so cold out. We can see our breath. We're not used to this. We're spoiled. I'm going to come out and say it. We are soft when it comes to cold weather.
Well, today starts our journey south, and you can probably tell why. It's not snowing here at the Badlands, but the Black Hills did get some snow overnight. It's supposed to be raining in the 30s today. We're at the end of our 14-day stay here in the Badlands. We were gonna do one more week in the Black Hills, but with the weather turning, who wants to go to the Black Hills when it's in the 30s and 40s and 50s as a high?
Not me.
Anybody?
Not me. I'm ready to pack it up and leave. This is exactly like one of the benefits of RVing to utilize. I'm gonna pull this utilization trigger and we're gonna get out of here.
It's 7:30 in the morning on a Friday. We have about a 360 mile trip today to
that's a big one.
Casper, Wyoming. We're headed to a harvest host. We upped our work schedule on the RV to be done in Salt Lake City because we could get in a week ahead of South Dakota.
So rather than sitting for a week in South Dakota in the snow, we're just gonna drive to Utah, bump it up, and hopefully beat the storm. The winter snowstorm.
So you've heard me complain about packing up in the rain. It seems like it always rains on pack up day. And once again, it did rain last night for the first time in weeks, but then you throw in these 38-degree temperatures with this wind, and it just makes for a very slow pack up and miserable. Goodbye, Nomad View. So we've been on the hunt for propane for a little bit, and we think we see it at Love's, which is gonna be pretty nice because with this cold weather, you know, that's really where you start to go through your propane, especially in a fifth wheel where you got much more air volume to heat up. I wonder if that's a self-pay? Looks like a little kiosk in there. Huh, I heard those are expensive.
So dog park, these Loves really are convenient.
Imagine if we got broke down here and we had to stay in the Love's campground for a week.
A nightmare.
Can you see that? That's my breath. It's cold. I haven't seen that since 10 years ago in a Minnesota snow winter. Hello, just trying to get some propane if somebody could come out.
We'll get someone out there as soon as we can.
Whew. So it is brutally cold out there. The wind, you know, that 40-degree temperature. I think over here it's even closer in the 30s. I can see my breath. Snow is just up the highway and spearfish. And this makes doing every little RV task even worse. Getting propane. The tanks like stick inside. There's these two metal straps that you know about it if you have them, and they're really hard to like close. You got to get your screwdriver out and jam them closed. They're all bent. So there's a couple ways around down to Casper. You can go up through Sturgis and Spearfish and then into Gillette and down. Or the route we're thinking about taking is, you know, just east of Custer, down and around, because up here in Spearfish is where they're literally getting snow right now.
I also want to avoid the 80 miles per hour speed limit because we're keeping it at like 60. And when you have, you know, your first snowstorm of the winter, people kind of drive crazy. And I don't want to be around people zipping around in the snow.
Yeah, I think it's best to just go the long way around.
You ready?
Actually, it's only 10 miles longer. No, it's 10 miles shorter.
It's a short way around, slightly more minutes because of the reduced speed, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Second fuel stop of the day. I'm gonna get out, check the hubs on the trailer, tires, make sure those are not feeling too hot. And I don't know if I mentioned this before or not, but I have a temperature gun that I can't find. It's somewhere in the RV. I looked, I can't find it. I gotta rip everything apart. Now we're kind of going on our next more remote stretch as we start to head kind of south and west. We have 202 miles till Cody, Wyoming. You're gonna earn that Harvest Host cheeseburger tonight.
It actually sounds really nice to just land somewhere and get a cheeseburger. I don't say that too often.
Oh, and I know we're not quite in Wyoming yet, but for some reason when I walked in that truck stop, I felt Wyoming.
Yeah?
Cowboy hats,
Yeah.
and a little bit of country vibe, and
Yeah, we're almost there. We haven't been to Wyoming for several years.
I think Wyoming is called the Cowboy State.
Really? I can believe that.
I might be wrong on that, but
Well, there's a lot of ranchers, right?
I think so, yep. I think Texas would be the Cowboy State.
I would consider Texas definitely as a cowboy state.
I think it's Wyoming though. Well, thankfully, it's been an uneventful drive today, but kind of a beautiful drive. This Wyoming area with the big, vast views and the rolling kind of, I don't know, yellow hay style types of fields that are out there. Like, it's really, really beautiful. And there's a little bit of mountainous structures out there, nothing major, but it is a beautiful drive.
Yeah, and the fall colors are popping.
Yeah, because everything is that, like the grass is all that mute kind of yellow right now, and then the trees are like popping.
Bright yellow, and we saw some bright orange. We did not see any reds, but the yellow and the oranges were magnificent.
So we're 5 miles out from the Gruner Brothers Brewery, which is a Harvest Host we're staying at tonight. We have a couple Harvest Hosts we're doing the next few nights on our way to Salt Lake City to get the final kind of alignment and repair done on our travel trailer before we really get out of this cold weather.
I put on the radio and I turn the lights down low. I sway with you to whatever is on. 'Cause you've been working hard and you earned your battle scars. Let me hold you like a queen tonight.
Brr. Ooh, it's 47 degrees in here. We did not charge at all today. That usually doesn't happen. That would be a good case for the DC to DC chargers, which we typically don't ever need because we have so much solar. But we went from, I think, 73 this morning to 77. Not good. Well, as far as Harvest Host parking goes, this one's pretty good. Nice big open lot. It's not just a brewery, but also food. And it's right off the highway.
It's as good as it gets. And what I really like is that the hours that you can show up, it's a really wide range, which helps so much for travel days because, you know, the RV multiplier, it can just vary so much. It's really hard to pinpoint like when exactly you're going to get somewhere. So
Yeah,
This
you can
worked
check in by 10 o'clock, which is at night.
Yeah.
Which is great.
This is super convenient. And I think Aaron finally worked up an appetite.
Yes, the only thing I would wish for is that it's not going to be 31 degrees when we wake up tomorrow
Oh my
morning.
gosh, it's so cold out. We can see our breath. It's horribly cold. We're not used to this. We're spoiled. I'm going to come out and say it. We are soft when it comes to cold weather. And yeah, I don't have any tolerance for cold weather anymore.
Are you going to give them some treats?
Yeah, I am. Okay. Louis, spin. Good boy. June, spin. June, spin. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Okay, let's go, Pa. Okay, down. Down. June, down. Okay, that counts. That's good.
So we are going to head in, check in, and have a little bite to eat and probably a beer. And then we're going to come back and turn on the electric blanket because it's freezing.
Doesn't that sound like a wild night? We just are most looking forward to coming home and putting on the electric blanket and staying warm.
Yay!
Like the Philly stairs all over again.
Do the Harvest House symbol. It's warm and there's music
And it's cozy.
and beer.
It's like Irish jig music.
I'm gonna be sitting out on the patio, but there's the hope.
Cheers. Are you jealous?
Electric blankets going in the bed.
It is so cold. Like, ugh.
It's 49 degrees in the bedroom. 49 degrees.
Thank you, Howard and Caitlin, for this electric blanket. They bought us this a couple years ago. I've really been abusing it lately.
This blanket uses 100 watts of power. It is so efficient. It's beautiful.
And if you plan ahead for like 10 minutes, like I just plugged this in, I cranked it on 4. We're gonna go take the dogs out for their final outing. When we come back and get into bed, it's gonna be so warm.
Okay, should we go potty? Okay. Good morning from Wyoming. That's 32 degrees out there.
It's real snow, real ice. It's time to get out of here. Do you see the mountains behind us with
Yeah.
all the ice caps?
Yeah, they're pretty. I'd rather be in Southern California where you can see it and
From
it's,
afar.
and it's still 75 in the valley.
Palm Springs.
What a difference a day makes. It's actually 5 or almost 10 degrees colder than yesterday, but there's no wind right now and a pretty intense sunshine. And it feels like night and day difference, like being outside and getting the rig ready. Yeah, it's chilly, but that sun is like hitting you.
Makes it so much more comfortable.
No wind. Yesterday I was frozen to the core. I think it was like 41 degrees, so we were well above freezing, but it was just windy and just like bone-chilling cold. Big day today, 365 miles, 5 hours on the map. Tonight's location is also a harvest host, but it's an interesting one. It's a campground.
Campground / truck stop. Yeah.
So basically we're going to the truck stop.
Yeah.
I hope it's a nice truck stop.
We'll find out. They say it, so parking in the truck stop for free is what's included in the Harvest Host deal. But if you would like to have a nicer spot in the campground with the hookups, then you can, and you get a discount being a Harvest Host member.
Intense fog. And just like that, you pop out on the other side. That was like driving through the top of a mountain.
Yeah.
That was, I think that was actual clouds.
Yeah, we were driving through the clouds. It was intense, and it was like you could only see 20, 30 feet visibility in front of you. And it's so important to have your headlights on, people. We passed like 3 cars that didn't have lights on at all.
Yeah, half the people didn't have their lights on, which is insane.
Very dangerous. All of a sudden they pop out and they're like 5 feet from you. You have no idea they're there.
So you can kind of see the thick, low clouds that are hanging out there. That's what we just drove through.
I've never towed through that much
Low visibility. 17-foot 2 bridge. Have I mentioned yet how nice it is to be out west, where all the bridge signs are like 14, 15, 16, 17 feet tall?
Yeah, it's really nice. And I'm very excited to just be able to use my regular Google map again and not the RV GPS.
Yes. Nice big new Mavericks.
I love Mavericks. They're just so welcoming, aren't they?
Yep. We know we're west when we hit the Mavericks.
Yeah, I do like them. They're always really nice on the inside.
So those of you not familiar with Mavericks gas stations, these are just the best that you can find as an RVer. They're super friendly. There's the dump station right up there. I think every single one we've been to has had a free dump station. Mm-hmm. The big rig lanes have gas and diesel and DEF.
And I remember from back in the van days when we would use these free dumps all the time, I remember Mavericks tend to have free potable water, not at the dump, but like in weird spots where when we were in the van, it was easy to find those and fill up. I remember filling up water jugs here all the time.
Yeah, they had potable water at the gas pumps.
Sometimes at the pumps and sometimes even like on the side of the building.
Super RV friendly. This is our first one we've been into in Wyoming. Usually you'll find these in Utah. I suppose they're in a couple states around the area, but these are just the best.
So welcoming.
So topped off on fuel and DEF, 246 miles to go, and the hubs are looking good. No excessive heat, nothing weird with the tire, the spare, none of that. Everything's going pretty well.
Awesome.
This little town of Rawlings, was this Rawlings?
Yep.
Yeah, Rawlings is pretty interesting. It looks like it's half dead and boarded up and half alive and kicking.
Lots of travelers coming through here and stopping at the Maverick. It was actually quite packed in there when I got inside.
There she is, right off the highway. Actually doesn't look too bad. Look at that beautiful little river down there. So this is not your typical Harvest Host, and it's kind of weird because it's basically like a truck stop area that we're parking in, but it's owned by the gas station and an RV park behind the gas station, and then there's a Best Western right here. And so basically this is where you park.
This is it?
Yeah. Not the best area, that's for sure. So we're just gonna park close to the road over here as possible. Believe it or not, we have never stayed at a truck stop in our 6 years on the road, ever.
We've talked about it, but we've never needed to.
Yeah, and it's not really like something that's really ever going to be a very comfortable night, especially a busy truck stop with lots of noise and lots of trucks coming and going, idling. It's bad for the dogs. There's no grass. Like, they're kind of dirty. So, you know, ironically, this Harvest Host, I didn't really realize it was a truck stop. I just thought they had a little, you know, cement area to park in.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was going to be, and this really...
But you did when you read it, right?
Well, I guess I didn't really,
I mean, I read it, and I read that.
all I read was that it was a gas station, and they don't charge at all. You just got to get fuel, and they have propane, and they have a dump and fill, and they have a campground behind it. That's all I read. So I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we want.
Yeah, because we like to spend money on things we'd normally spend money on, right? Like fuel, propane, and dump and fill.
Yeah. So, and them allowing us to sit here for 2 days, like, it's not bad. It's pretty nice here. There's people trout fishing. There's, you know, lots of it seems like people traveling through the area and recreating, mountain biking. I don't know. It could be worse, is all I could say.
It is a beautiful area back there with the river.
So I forgot to update the power situation when we parked. We didn't quite get to 100%, but we did get really close, sitting at 97. You know, it was fairly cloudy, but also sunny towards the afternoon. And, you know, the more and more we kind of run into this low sun, maybe some type of DC to DC charger might be a good idea. Also, since we are, you know, going to be able to dump and fill at the campground right next to us here in 2 days, we're probably going to do some laundry. We have Gray 1, which has plenty of space for at least 1 or 2 loads. We got plenty of fresh water, so we do definitely need to get some laundry going. I think we're both running out of everything. At some point, I want to do the secret to boondocking video, which is socks and underwear.
Oh yeah, the big secret is you have about 2 months worth of socks and underwear.
I don't know about 2 months, but 3 weeks for sure. Because that's, you know, 3 weeks is 21 pairs of underwear and socks, which, you know, for a lot of people, that's a lot.
I definitely have more than that.
Okay. Yeah, I think we both have close to like a month, but...
Yeah, you have to have plenty. You got to have enough so that you can change your socks and underwear multiple times throughout the day if you need to. Like, sometimes it gets rainy, you need to change your socks. I walk and get wet shoes all the time, so sometimes I burn through a couple pairs of socks a day.
Yeah, that happens.
Feels good to be parked. I was ready to be done driving.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
2 days, when you do these back-to-back driving days, you know, and you do 350, it's a lot. It's time to relax. In the parking lot. That's the key to boondocking.
Been a long time. Actually, we're gonna do an express load, which I don't normally like to do. Normally, I like to do colors with the super wash to really get it clean. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that uses more water. So we're gonna go with the express to save water. You don't need much soap.
So power-wise, the washing machine really doesn't take much. Right now it's kind of still activating, but it's like a couple hundred watts, maybe max. It will be 1,500 watts on the dryer when that goes.
I can't believe we're doing laundry right now. How cool. Yes, showered, fresh bed sheets, fresh laundry. The other trick, besides plenty of underwear, boxers, and socks, is lots of linens for your bed so you can change your bed sheets every week. So we carry 3 sets, lots of towels, kitchen towels, shower towels. Pork chops served 2 ways.
Good morning from the truck stop. After a 2-day, 700-mile journey from South Dakota down here to Salt Lake City, we are just about 20 minutes away from the alignment shop. Well, it's 9:15. We're waiting outside of the alignment shop. And we got here about 45 minutes early. We thought maybe we'd be able to squeeze in, get done early, get in, get out. But it's kind of like the doctor's office. You show up, no matter if you're late, early, you're still gonna be sitting there for a little bit at least. We are on the final 10 miles of our third 350-mile travel day in 4 days. We did have one double stop there, but we are excited to slow it down here again. These big, long travel days are challenging. You throw in the RV service alignment that, you know, we had this morning, and it's like, that's one more thing that we just don't need. So we're actually coming up to one of our favorite spots right outside Zion National Park.
Ever wonder where the name Irene Iron Travels comes from? It's actually named after my online fitness and nutrition coaching business, Irene Iron Fitness. I help people move better, feel better, and eat better with strength training and real food. No fad diets, no harsh restrictions, no counting calories, and absolutely no processed food in a package. If you want to get stronger and feel better at any age, check the description below for the links with my new client special, or join in on our next and upcoming group challenge.